Hello internet and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd, the nerdiest channel in the multiverse. My name's Jack Finch and today we're taking a look at the top 10 Dragon Ball Super fan theories, part 2.
That's right. You had no idea, did you? I've been a Super Saiyan for years, and now I too have the power of a god.
Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our latest and greatest uploads. And why don't you go ahead and leave us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever works for you. If you haven't seen it, Ron did a great job with part 1 of this video, but there's a lot to dig into and a hell of a lot more Dragon Ball Super fan theories, so let's jump on it. Kicking us off at number 10, the reason Gohan stopped fighting was because, well, he's suffering from PTSD. Everyone adored Gohan in DBZ and he was one of the most promising and entertaining fighters in the series. It was the stuff of legends when he first achieved the Super Saiyan 2 state, forever being cemented into the memories of Dragon Ball fans. It was even worse than after his epic transformation that the character just lost all of his steam and became irrelevant when Dragon Ball Super came to town. Well, according to this pretty convincing fan theory, there's a very simple reason to it. Gohan experienced massive childhood trauma after the events of the Frieza and Cell saga, and well, Gohan was just 5 years old when Frieza beat him to a pulp. That kid's gonna have issues. At number 9, Super Saiyan Blue confirmed. One of the most epic, iconic transformations in Dragon Ball Super, also known as Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, but Super Saiyan Blue has got a much better ring to it. This transformation has proven to be absolutely amazing when it comes to the series, a movie doing justice to the Dragon Ball name. I mean, you could argue that this transformation is just a colour palette change that occurs when, in Goku's words, a Saiyan with the power of a Super Saiyan God further transforms himself into a Super Saiyan. But the biggest truth about this, the term Super Saiyan Blue was actually coined by fans. No one really knows where, since the term was discussed on various platforms and forums long before it made its first official appearance, but the show canonised it and gave a nod to fans when Whis first spoke its name. Coming in at number 8, Android 17's family is a lie. Not gonna lie, this one is pretty sad. The return of Android 17 in the main Dragon Ball Super plot had been keenly awaited by devout fans for far too long, and we learned that not only was this guy still relevant and still super powerful, but he'd also settled down and had a family. Pretty similar to his sister's movings and shakings, Android 18. He even takes them on a cruise during the season finale. How nice. Thing is though, some fans are pretty much convinced that Android 17 made the whole thing up. He created a fictional family in his own mind to keep himself sane while working on the nature preserve, spending his days protecting animals and fighting poachers. And while the evidence is there, we're pretty much inclined to agree. Next up at number 7, Frieza is actually a child. Frieza pretty much tops the list when it comes to the most iconic villains in the Dragon Ball series. After all, Goku was so frustrated by him that he achieved a whole new power level just to deal with him. But when it comes to this particular theory, Frieza is seen in a different, more palatable light. In essence, Frieza is just a kid. King Cold, Frieza's father, was tall and had a mature tone, implying that members of the Frieza race age normally like Saiyans or Earthlings, and Cooler, while not as huge as King Cold, still appears taller and seems much more mature. And, well, Frieza is pretty tiny in comparison, making him nothing more than a teenager, and that makes his whole villainy a lot more impressive. Swinging in at number 6, future ZEN-OH is ZAMASU. Everyone's favourite child emperor of the multiverse, the Omni King aka ZEN-OH, also has a futuristic counterpart, future ZEN-OH. Whenever the present ZEN-OH would say something or strike a pose in the show, the future ZEN-OH would try to imitate him but do it in a slightly off manner and not exactly on beat. They're the same being, right? So why would future ZEN-OH constantly mess up his own idiosyncrasies? Well, here's the rub. This fan theory believes that future ZEN-OH is actually none other than the all-powerful ZAMASU, who during his erasure from the Omni King somehow infested his future version and took up his mantle alongside his present timeline counterpart, and he's in waiting, biding his time for revenge. At number 5, KALE is essentially Broly. Things are pretty thin on the ground when it comes to Saiyans in Universe 7, with more or less all of them being wiped out aside from Goku, Vegeta and a few stragglers. In comparison then, Universe 6 is still chock-a-block with Saiyans. Among them is the shy and skinny KALE, unassuming and not that much of an outward threat for anyone at all, until she's prodded in the Tournament of Power and then all hell breaks loose. Fans were keen to point out the visual familiarity of her Super Saiyan state, which was more akin to Broly's legendary Super Saiyan and just as crazy, notifying her overflowing rage. Official production design documents even stated that during the Tournament of Power, KALE was intended to turn into Broly. So we know that Universe 6 Saiyans are meant to be a reflection of Universe 7, but this takes it to a whole new level. What's in store there? Let us know in the comments below. Coming in at number 4, Frieza will become a god of destruction. Let's go ahead and say it. Frieza's second appearance on Dragon Ball Super was nothing short of absolutely awesome. Plucked back from the afterlife to fight for Universe 7 in the Tournament of Power, Frieza threw down, and he threw down hard, proving himself to still be insanely powerful and even to the point of resisting the energy of destruction. The thing is though, after his second chance at the Tournament of Power, Frieza was back for good. And turns out he's got some unfinished business. He hasn't cleaned up his act, he hasn't learned his lesson, and more importantly, it's believed that Frieza's ultimate master plan is to become a god of destruction and take his chaotic armies to overthrow the gods and become the supreme ruler of existence. Well, good job Frieza, and I guess we'll find out. And coming in at number 3, we have a conspiracy of angels. Speaking of the gods, the angels are up to something too. Now we know that Jiren, we'll get to him later, is plotting something that could potentially spark a war against divinity itself. But the reason why is a bit more revealing. The mysterious angels during the Tournament of Power were pretty weird to say the least, and their twisted benevolence towards the literal end of multiple universes got fans thinking. Maybe this is exactly what they wanted all along, and they're making moves towards a grand takeover conspiracy against ZEN-OH, all under the placid, creepy eyes of the Grand Minister. Time will tell, but that's Game of Thrones level maneuvering if it is true. At our number 2 spot, Goku wants to be a god. And if our number 3 point is correct, things could get very interesting for the next Dragon Ball saga. The main staple of the entire Dragon Ball franchise is Goku and his constant search for power. His thirst for battling his opponents is so intense that he doesn't shy away when it comes to fighting an actual god, which is equal parts bravery and incredible stupidity. However, if we know anything from the Dragon Ball series, it's that whatever Goku fights, he fights it for a reason, to learn their power and surpass it. Goku is in a constant state of attaining more power, and well, after the Tournament of Power, Goku wants to attain the power of the gods. That's a lot of power. Getting a taste of the Super Saiyan God transformation got Goku hooked on the good stuff, and he wants more, with many fans believing that he's already on the path to becoming a deity. And at our number 1 final point for the day, Jiren is Buddha. Talking of deities, which seems to be an overlying theme of Dragon Ball Super, that makes up the very fabric of where the Dragon Ball franchise is heading. Jiren, possibly the most mysterious character in the whole of Dragon Ball Super, who perplexed fans with his calm demeanour and emotionless fighting technique, has led fans to believe that in actual fact is inspired by Buddha. We're stated that Jiren's power level is similar to that of a god of destruction. After all, Jiren has reached a state of enlightenment that allows him to transcend morality and become one with the universe. Sound familiar? It has also previously been stated that Goku was based on Sun Wukong, who in legend was imprisoned in Buddha's palm and forced to pay for his crimes on Earth. The parallels aren't exact, but they're pretty illuminating, and fans believe that Dragon Ball Super is just getting started and they're about to be exposed to a whole new level of power scaling. Now, it would make sense if we had a few literal gods scattered about, right? Well, what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment box down below. If you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and your enemies. If you'd like to continue your Dragon Ball binge, feel free to hit the playlist shortly floating above. As per usual, you've been watching Top 10 Nerd. I've been your host Jack Finch, and until next time, you take it easy.